Hey everybody, this is Reapy Ron, and today we're going to be taking a look at some more teams on Puzzles & Dragons. Today the teams we're going to be looking at are the zombie teams and the recovery teams. Now, when I say zombie, I don't mean zombie dragon or any sort of undead thing. Your team just acts like it's undead. Now, both these teams are pretty similar, but they are not the same. If you want to tell the differences, here's how you do it. A zombie team just wants to sit in a dungeon and wait it out until they kill the dungeon, usually by just healing themselves every turn, usually through either auto heals or having a leader skill that heals. A recovery team, on the other hand, just constantly wants to heal themselves, mostly from the leader's skill. So that's why they're very similar, but they are not the same. To use both these types of teams, you really don't have to do very much for them except for match orbs. Sometimes you're going to have to match heal orbs. The most tricky part of these teams, though, is simply you're going to have to pick out which dungeons to do, because these teams cannot do all dungeons, but they can do some dungeons that are very difficult. So here's some notable entries from zombie/recovery teams. The first one is Green Odin. Green Odin is a very good monster and a very good example for a zombie team lead. He has 80% damage reduction when the HP is full and 1.5 times attack when connecting 4 or more wood orbs, up to 8 wood orbs giving you 3.5 times attack. So he doesn't give that much attack, but with the 80% damage reduction and all of his auto heals, he can do certain dungeons that can be very difficult, like Machine Athena's dungeon. Having 2 Green Odins as leads does not give you 160% damage reduction. You get 80% and then 80% of 80%. With a Green Odin team, you generally just want to sit in the dungeon and wait until you can clear the floors, and you want to make sure that every floor cannot kill you with a double hit attack. If there's anything that has a multi-hitting attack, then this team will not work very well, because the 80% only applies on the first hit, so then you won't be at 100% health, so the next hit will hit you for full force. Our second example here is Reincarnated Amaterasu. Amaterasu gives 6 times attack for healers when HP is full, 3.5 times attack at 99% or less, and recovers 10 times RCV at the end of each turn after orb eliminations. So as long as you're clearing orbs, you will get healed for the 10 times RCV, which is quite nice. And this is why once upon a time this team was picked for a lot of dungeons. Using Green Odin as one lead and Amaterasu as another lead makes it so you constantly have 80% damage reduction, and you'll likely heal yourself up to full from anything that hits you. You can also just use Amaterasu by herself because her multiplier is quite high and she does heal. So combining them isn't really necessary anymore, since Odin has some damage now, and Amaterasu has more damage than she did before, as well as more healing. And then the third and final example we have of a zombie/recovery is both of the Odin dragons. One Odin dragon acts more like Green Odin, the other Odin dragon acts more like Amaterasu. They are both very strong, they're hard to get, but they do work out quite well for healing and for just lasting a long time in a dungeon. Now, the pros to a zombie team or recovery team are that they can do some really high-level dungeons, particularly the zombie team more than the recovery team, but they can do very high-level dungeons like Machine Athena, like I've said, and they are very easy to use. They do not require very much skill, and they're generally pretty safe in the dungeons that they're meant for. The main cons to these guys, though, are that they can only really be used in a very few amount of dungeons. Most of them won't really work in any dungeon that has anything that hits multiple times, because it will likely kill you before you can kill it. Another big con, particularly for me, is that they can be very boring. Sitting there and waiting for 99 turns for damage reduction to leave, or for damage absorption or something like that to leave, is very boring regardless of what team you have. But just imagine trying to do that every single level with this team. It takes quite a while to do most dungeons. When I did Machine Athena with Green Odin, it took me over 2 hours to do, so it was not a fun time. And the next big con is simply that they cannot do a lot of dungeons. You very much have to pick and choose which dungeons you can use them in. Otherwise, you're just going to have a lot of problems, because they do not work in the majority of dungeons simply because there's something in them that hits multiple times. Now, if you were just going to do this for any of the normal dungeons or most of the technical dungeons, then yeah, you could go right ahead and do them because there's not usually things that multi-hit. But once you get up into the higher technicals or even some of the higher normals, then you're still going to have problems. So this was the look at recover and zombie teams. Hopefully this kind of helped explain what a zombie team and what a recovery team is and what use it has. Some people may be wondering why I did not put in teams that you may survive a hit using perseverance or guts or some other leader skill that does that. And that is going to be a different list next time, I believe, looking for things that have perseverance or guts or just have damage reduction from something in general. So hopefully this helped you a little bit. Hopefully this helped you understand. If you're going to use a zombie team or a recovery team, just make sure that you're not in any danger, because then you can pretty much just sit there and wait the dungeon out until you win. It may be boring and time consuming, but it is effective. So anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this. If you guys have been having a good day, keep on having a good day. If you guys have been having a bad day, I hope this video made your day just a little better. I'll see you guys next time. Until then, stay cool and bye.